Curious about the horrors hiding in abandoned hospitals? Join Creepy Experience as we uncover the UK's most haunted places, where the line between life and death blurs. Get ready for chilling ghost stories you won't forget. 1. Newsham Park Hospital, Liverpool. Newsham Park Hospital, once home to children and the mentally ill, is now infamous for its paranormal activity. Visitors describe hearing the unsettling sound of children's laughter and cries echoing through the halls, though the building is completely empty. In the nurses' quarters, unexplained cold spots are often reported, along with the eerie sensation that someone is standing just behind them. Several people have witnessed shadowy figures moving through rooms only to disappear when looked at directly. One particularly chilling story involves a ghostly nurse seen pacing the halls, her face blank with a lost expression. The sounds of footsteps following you, even when no one is around, add to the oppressive atmosphere, making it clear that the spirits of the past have not moved on. Could these lost souls still be trapped in the ruins of Newsham Park? Creepy Experience takes you on a terrifying journey to uncover its haunted secrets. 2. Poole Park Asylum, Ruthin, Wales. Poole Park Asylum, a former family manor turned mental hospital, carries a sinister reputation. Paranormal investigators who have dared to enter report disturbing occurrences, such as objects being thrown across rooms by unseen hands and strange shadows flitting across the walls. Visitors describe feeling an overwhelming presence watching them from the corners of their eyes. One of the most terrifying encounters involves a cold breeze sweeping through the building, despite the lack of any open windows. Many have been physically touched by invisible hands, and some even report unexplained bruises appearing on their skin. The feeling of being followed is constant, as though the spirits of the patients are still wandering the halls, trapped in their suffering. Join Creepy Experience as we delve into the disturbing hauntings of Poole Park Asylum, where the spirits of the past refuse to let go. 3 Towers Asylum, Leicester Towers Asylum, a facility that operated from 1869 to 2013, is known for its dark history of overcrowding and cruel treatment of its patients. The atmosphere here is thick with sorrow, and ghostly activity is rampant. Paranormal investigators claim to have heard banging sounds from empty rooms, followed by objects being violently thrown across the floor. The walls seem to whisper with the tortured voices of the patients who once resided there, and some have described seeing shadowy figures lurking in the hallways. In one of the most chilling reports, a visitor claims to have been shoved from behind while walking down a corridor, only to turn around and find no one there. The building itself seems to have a life of its own, with strange occurrences happening throughout, and the feeling of being watched never truly goes away. Could the spirits of those once confined here still be trapped inside? Creepy Experience takes you deeper into the haunting history of Towers Asylum. 4. Barnes Hospital, Cheadle. Barnes Hospital in Cheadle once treated tuberculosis and yellow fever patients, but it is now best known for the unsettling paranormal activity reported by those who explore its abandoned halls. Visitors often hear the unmistakable sound of phantom footsteps following them, and ghostly figures have been seen moving through the corridors. One of the most terrifying reports comes from those who have heard a bell ringing in the distance, though there is no bell and no one around to pull it. In the quiet darkness of the hospital, whispers can be heard coming from empty rooms, and some have even described hearing the faint sound of someone screaming in the distance. The most chilling ghostly figure is said to be a woman in a hospital gown, who appears at the end of corridors before vanishing into thin air. Could this be the spirit of a patient who never found peace? Creepy Experience explores the spine-chilling tales surrounding Barnes Hospital. 5. Barrow Gurney Hospital. Somerset Barrow Gurney Hospital was notorious for its poor conditions, with patients often subjected to neglect and mistreatment. During World War II, it was used as a Royal Navy hospital. Today, its crumbling remains are a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors who enter the building often report strange, inexplicable noises, including the sound of heavy footsteps echoing through the empty halls. Some say they have felt a cold, invisible presence brushing against them, or seen shadows moving swiftly across the walls. The most terrifying accounts come from those who claim to have seen apparitions of patients dressed in old hospital attire, their faces twisted in terror. One of the most unsettling experiences reported is the feeling of being trapped, as if the spirits of those who died here are still watching, waiting for someone to join them. Could Barrow Gurney's tragic past still haunt it today? Creepy Experience takes you into the heart of the mystery. 6. Thackray Museum of Medicine, Leeds. Once a workhouse and infirmary, the Thackray Museum of Medicine in Leeds is now home to disturbing paranormal activity. The building's haunted past is evident in the strange occurrences experienced by visitors. Many have reported hearing ghostly whispers that seem to come from nowhere, and some have felt the eerie sensation of being touched by an unseen hand. Others describe seeing apparitions of patients dressed in old-fashioned hospital gowns, wandering through the halls. One of the most terrifying reports comes from a visitor who felt a cold breath on their neck, only to turn around and find no one there. Some believe the spirits of those who suffered in the workhouse still haunt these halls, unable to find peace. Could these lost souls still be seeking help from beyond the grave? Creepy Experience reveals the terrifying truth behind the museum's haunted reputation. 7 Fair Mile Hospital. Cholsey Fair Mile Hospital, now abandoned and in ruins, was once home to the mentally ill, and it is said to be haunted by the tormented souls of former patients. Paranormal investigators who have explored the grounds report hearing unsettling noises, including the sound of doors slamming shut, footsteps in empty hallways, and the faint cry of a woman in the distance. Some claim to have seen ghostly faces pressed against the windows, their expressions filled with sorrow and desperation. The feeling of being watched is overwhelming, and several visitors report feeling an oppressive presence that follows them throughout the building. In certain rooms, the air is thick with the remnants of suffering, and many believe the spirits of the past are still trapped within the decaying walls of Fair Mile. Could the patients who were once locked away in this hospital still be calling out for release? Creepy Experience takes you deeper into the dark history of Fair Mile Hospital. 8. Nocton Hall, RAF Hospital. Nocton Hall, which served as a RAF hospital and later a US wartime medical facility, is now a place of mystery and eerie paranormal activity. Despite the limited number of deaths during its operation, strange occurrences continue to plague the abandoned building. Visitors often report flickering lights and the unsettling sound of footsteps echoing down empty hallways. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures moving through the windows, and others have described a cold, oppressive atmosphere that makes it feel as though something is lurking just out of sight. Ghostly soldiers in old uniforms have been reported walking the grounds, their eyes hollow and distant. Could the spirits of those who passed through here still be tied to this place, refusing to leave? Creepy Experience investigates the chilling happenings at Nocton Hall. 9 St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Rochester, Kent Street. Bartholomew's Hospital has long been associated with disturbing paranormal activity, including the haunting appearance of a ghostly boy. Legend has it that whenever the child's apparition is seen, it's a sign that someone is about to die within the hospital. His ghostly form appears at the end of patient beds, his pale face filled with sadness. Several witnesses report hearing whispers in the rooms where the boy's spirit has appeared, and some have described feeling an overwhelming sense of dread when his presence is near. Could this child be a harbinger of death, or is he simply one of many lost souls still trapped within the hospital's walls? Creepy Experience uncovers the unsettling truth behind St. Bartholomew's haunting legacy. 10. St. Brigid's Hospital. St. Brigid's Hospital, a former psychiatric institution, has a dark history marked by neglect and suffering. It's no wonder that many believe the spirits of former patients still haunt the halls. Paranormal encounters are common, with visitors reporting sightings of ghostly figures in old hospital attire. The sound of doors slamming shut and whispers in the dark are frequent occurrences. One particularly eerie story involves a patient's spirit seen pacing the halls as if trapped in an eternal loop. Some claim to have heard faint cries for help echoing through the empty building, making it clear that the spirits of the past are still lingering, unable to find peace. Others report seeing flickering lights and feeling an oppressive atmosphere in certain rooms, as if something is watching from the shadows. Could these tormented souls still be searching for release? Creepy Experience takes you deeper into the disturbing history of St. Brigid's Hospital, where the past refuses to stay buried. 11. Our Lady's Hospital. Our Lady's Hospital, a former psychiatric ward, is now abandoned, but its haunting legacy endures. The building is a hotspot for paranormal activity, with strange noises like soft whispers and distant footsteps reported by visitors. Many claim to have felt an eerie presence following them through the empty halls. In the old chapel, once a place of peace for the patients, strange things happen: flickering lights, sudden cold spots, and the sound of footsteps moving across the floor. Ghostly figures have been seen standing in the shadows, watching visitors with hollow eyes. Some believe the spirits of the lost patients are still wandering these halls, searching for peace. In one chilling encounter, a visitor reported seeing a shadowy figure kneel by a hospital bed, whispering unintelligible words before vanishing into thin air. Could these lost souls still be trapped, unable to move on? Creepy Experience reveals the chilling truth behind Our Lady's Hospital, a place where the past haunts the present. 12. St. Ita's Hospital. St. Ita's Hospital, set in a remote location, has a tragic history tied to its former patients, many of whom died in agony. Paranormal activity here is widespread, with reports of strange noises, including the sound of metal scraping and faint cries echoing through the building. Visitors describe seeing shadowy figures lurking at the end of corridors, only to vanish when approached. The oppressive atmosphere of the place makes it feel as though the spirits of the patients who suffered here are still trapped within the building, unable to escape. One particularly eerie experience involved a visitor hearing the sound of a woman's sobs coming from an empty room, only to find nothing when they entered. The air seems to grow colder the deeper one ventures into the hospital, as though the spirits of those who endured unimaginable pain are still lingering, hoping for release. Could these tormented souls still be seeking redemption? Creepy Experience delves into the terrifying history of St. Ita's Hospital, where the past never truly fades away. 13. Denbigh Insane Asylum, North Wales. Denbigh Insane Asylum, notorious for overcrowding and cruel treatment, is one of the most haunted places in the UK. Paranormal investigators often report hearing the sounds of disembodied laughter and footsteps echoing through the empty halls. Full-bodied apparitions of former patients have been seen wandering the building, their faces contorted in fear. The building itself seems to breathe with the weight of its dark past, and many visitors claim to have felt an oppressive presence that follows them through the halls. One particularly chilling account involved a visitor being physically pushed by an unseen force while exploring the building, only to find no one around. The most terrifying part of Denbigh's haunting is its eerie silence, broken only by the occasional whisper or cry for help, as though the souls of the tortured patients are still trapped within the building. Could these tortured souls still be trapped in Denbigh's decaying walls? Creepy Experience uncovers the haunting truth behind this infamous asylum. 14. Murray Royal Hospital. Murray Royal Hospital, now abandoned, is shrouded in mystery and fear. Visitors often report hearing strange noises, including doors slamming and footsteps in the distance. Some have seen shadowy figures at the end of long corridors, only for them to disappear when approached. The air is thick with the weight of its past, and many describe the feeling of being constantly watched. Ghostly apparitions of patients and staff are said to still wander the halls, reliving their final moments. One particularly unsettling encounter involved a visitor feeling a cold hand on their shoulder, only to turn around and find no one there. The unsettling atmosphere of Murray Royal has made it a favorite among ghost hunters, who claim to have captured strange voices and eerie sounds on tape. Could these lingering spirits still be searching for peace, or are they trapped, unable to move on? Creepy Experience explores the chilling history of Murray Royal Hospital, where the line between life and death is thin. 15. Royal Sunnyside Hospital. Montrose Royal Sunnyside Hospital in Montrose is another location filled with paranormal activity. Visitors report hearing unexplainable noises, such as furniture moving and doors creaking open on their own. Shadowy figures have been seen moving through the halls, and many describe feeling a constant sense of being watched. The hospital's tragic history, coupled with its eerie atmosphere, makes it one of the most haunted locations in Scotland. Some believe that the spirits of patients who suffered here are still trapped, reliving their pain in the afterlife. A particularly unsettling story comes from a visitor who felt an overwhelming presence standing behind them, only to turn around and find no one there. The feeling of being followed is overwhelming, and many describe the building as alive, with an eerie energy that never seems to fade. Could the spirits of former patients still roam these halls, seeking release from their torment? Creepy Experience takes you deep into the heart of Royal Sunnyside's haunting legacy, where the restless dead never find peace. For more spine-tingling stories from the UK's most haunted places, be sure to subscribe to Creepy Experience, where the chilling truth is just a click away. Got a haunted location in mind? Share it in the comments, and it could appear in our next video.